Yo, what's good, YouTube? I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be doing the official 2021 NBA mock draft. I'm going to be picking who I think each team will pick in the lottery. I'm only going to be doing the first 14 picks. So, I think with the first pick, we can start with Detroit. Detroit's on the clock with the first pick. I think Cade Cunningham is definitely the number one pick. But it depends what Detroit sees a need for. If they don't see a need for another point guard because they already have Killian Hayes, I think they might go jalengreen. 6'6". Guy's a great ball handler, a great finisher. He can shoot the ball. And at 6'6", you could put him as shooting guard or small forward. He has potential to be a good defender too. But I think Cade Cunningham is no doubt the number one pick in this draft. At 6'8", he could play point guard. He could play small forward. He can shoot. He can dribble. He can pass. He averaged like 20 points, and he only averaged 3 assists in college. But that's a big difference between the NBA because there's more possessions, obviously, in the NBA. So yeah, 3 assists for a 6'8" player is not that bad, considering there's less possessions in college. So with the number one pick, I got Detroit selecting Cade Cunningham out of Oklahoma State. Now Rockets are on the clock with the second pick. Now, I don't know. The Rockets are a weird team to draft for because they have John Wall, they have Christian Wood, they have Kevin Porter Jr. But I don't see John Wall staying on this team for much longer. And then if they want to replace Eric Gordon, I think they go with Jalen Green. And they already have Christian Wood and Kelly Olynyk, which are both big players. 6'10". I think Kelly Olynyk 6'11". So I got the Rockets going with Jalen Green with the second pick in this draft. I think he'll be a great fit with this team. You gotta trade Eric Gordon or maybe run him off the bench. They're comparing this guy, Jalen Green. They're comparing him to Bradley Beal already. I could see the potential with the scoring, but we'll have to see. I think out of all the players in this draft, he has the highest upside. Cade Cunningham is going to be a great player too, but I think Jalen Green just has the most upside as a scorer, at least. To me, Cade Cunningham has more potential to be like a Luka Doncic type player or a Jason Tatum type player. But with the second pick, I got the Rockets going with Jalen Green. With the third pick, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, this is going to be a tough one because I've been hearing rumors that they're going to trade Colin Sexton. I don't know if it's true or not, but they also have Kevin Love, who they could get off the books. They got Larry Nance Jr., Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro. So this is going to be a tough one to pick. They still got Jared Allen too. I forgot about him. But I think you could run a lineup of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen in the front court. Evan Mobley could work on his shooting. That would be great defensively for the Cavs. And Evan Mobley's 7 feet. He's a great shot blocker. He showed promise of spacing the floor, but we'll see in the NBA. Hopefully he could translate to the NBA and actually make some open threes. I mean, on the Cavs, we'll have all the opportunity. So I think with the third pick, Cavaliers, they got to go with Evan Mobley. He's the best player available that's left. They could go Jalen Suggs too. This is a tough one, actually. Jalen Suggs to me is more of a point guard though. But he's a great player too. From Gonzaga. 6'4". He can play shooting guard. But it depends what they do. If they're trying to trade Colin Sexton. Yeah. If they trade Colin Sexton, I say they go with Jalen Suggs. Which there's been a lot of rumors that they're going to trade Colin Sexton and build around Garland. So I'm going to say the Cleveland Cavaliers go with Jalen Suggs out of Gonzaga. He's a great playmaker. He can shoot the ball, can handle the ball. He'll be a great fit next to Darius Garland. He's a promising defender too at 6'4". I got the Cleveland Cavaliers going with Jalen Suggs with the 3rd pick. Now the Raptors are on the clock with the 4th pick. Now I think you gotta go Evan Mobley here. Evan Mobley, like I said, a great shot blocker. He has promise to space the floor. He's a great rebounder. 7 foot tall. He's legit 7 foot. And yeah, they definitely need a center. Now they got Chris Boucher. He's only 6'9" though, so he could still get the backup minutes. And Aaron Baines, you know, he's already a veteran, so he doesn't really need minutes. They could try to trade him, or maybe like get a 2nd round pick or something for him. I don't know. But with the 4th pick, I got the Toronto Raptors going with Evan Mobley. And with Kyle Lowry leaving this year, I think Evan Mobley will be a great piece to build around with Siakam and Van Vliet. This team will probably be right back in the playoff hunt, maybe like for the 6th seed, 6th or 5th seed, or maybe the play-in tournament if that comes back. But I think they could definitely go back to the playoffs with Evan Mobley. With the 5th pick, the Orlando Magic are on the clock. Now, do they go best player available or a team fit here? They got Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris, and they still got Jonathan Isaac coming back. They got Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter. Now, I think they let Mo Bamba go or try to trade him or something, and then they just go with Wendell Carter as a full-time starter, because they have 2 centers, and then they got Jonathan Isaac coming back. That spacing is not going to be... Oh, they still got Mo Wagner too. Yeah, that spacing is going to be terrible. They got Otto Porter still. Terrence Ross. Now, Magic are a weird team because they have some pretty good young players, but it's like they don't know how to build a team. They just draft a whole bunch of centers. But I got them going with... I'm going to say... They could go with Scotty Barnes or Jonathan Kuminga. Scotty Barnes is a great defender. He can shoot the ball. He has promise to be a 2-way player in the NBA. He's at 6'9". Because Otto Porter, I think, is a free agent, isn't he? Then they can run Jonathan Isaac at the 4, Scotty Barnes at the 3, Wendell Carter at the 5, Markelle at the 1, and Gary Harris at the 2. Or they could go Jonathan Kuminga. He's also another great defender. He has promised to be another 2-way player in the NBA. But yeah, I think they go with... I'm going to say they go with Scotty Barnes here. Because Scotty Barnes, I think, has more upside out of the 2 players as a shooter and a defensive player in the NBA. So I'm going to go with Scotty Barnes here. Plus, I think Otto Porter's a free agent, so he's going to be off the books. Mo Bamba, I think they should either trade or get off the books too. He's been a bust. He was like the 6th pick a few years ago. Yeah, he's a bust, bro. He barely gets minutes. Can't do much. His defense is not as good as everybody thought. But I think they're just going to go with Wendell Carter Jr. at center. So, yeah, I got them going Scotty Barnes with the 5th pick. Now, with the 6th pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder are on the clock. Jesus. They got, like, how many picks? They got 6 picks this year. Now, Al Horford is not on the roster, so I don't know why it says that, but the 6th pick, they could go with a backcourt partner for Shai Gilgeous. They do have Kemba now, but I don't see him playing a single game for that team. I feel like he gets traded before the season starts. So they could either go with a point guard and Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell is a great partner for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He can shoot the ball, he can pass. He'll be a great point guard to put next to Shai. He's a decent defender too. Davion Mitchell. I think they could go with him if they feel like they're gonna trade Kemba, or they go with Jonathan Kuminga. They could also go with Keon Johnson and then run Shea at the 1. But I think they go with a point guard here because I don't see Kemba playing a single game for that team. So I'm going to say they draft Davion Mitchell with the 6th pick. Now, with the 7th pick in the draft, the Golden State Warriors have 2 first-round picks this year, 7 and 14. I don't see them keeping this pick. I think they might trade this pick and someone else and try to get a superstar. Maybe not a superstar, but at least another all-star player. I think they might trade the 7th and maybe a sign and trade with Oubre. Or maybe trade Wiggins. But if they do keep the pick, I say they go with either a small forward or a point guard off the bench. I think they should go with some type of forward or point guard to come off the bench that has some decent shooting, some defense. They really don't need much. They already have Jordan Poole. They still got Draymond. They got Andrew Wiggins. Clay's coming back. They got Nico Mannion too, Kevon Looney, James Wiseman. Yeah, they're good. They're good for a few years, but they do keep this pick. I say they go with. See. This is a tough one here because I don't know if they are going to keep the pick. But if they do, I say they go with Jonathan Kuminga if he's still available. Jonathan Kuminga, best player available right now. He's a great defender, a solid defender. I think he could shoot. I'm not sure. I forgot if he could shoot or not. But, this will be a replacement for Draymond if they try to get rid of him. Or he could even come off the bench. And then in a few years when Draymond retires, he could be the full-time starter. Yeah, I say they go with Jonathan Kuminga here. Solid defender. It's a solid pick for them if he falls to 7. And remember, Stephen Curry was the 7th pick, bro. People forget. He was the 7th pick, and look at him now. Top 5 player in the league. So I say they go Jonathan Kuminga here with the 7th pick. Oh, yeah. So Orlando has the 8th pick from Chicago. They got Chicago's pick. So let's see. I had them drafting Scotty Barnes with the 5th pick. So with the 8th pick, I'm going to say they go with. They could go with a shooting guard to replace Gary Harris. But I don't know if they want to build around Gary Harris and like Markelle Fultz and Jonathan Isaac and all them, or if Gary Harris is not part of their future. I say they go with a shooting guard here because Gary Harris, I don't know, lately he's just not been shooting the ball good. He's a solid defender, but besides that, he's more of like a role player. He's not someone you could really build around. So I'm going to say they either go with Keon Johnson or maybe Josh Giddey. But I say they go with Keon Johnson with the 8th pick. He can space the floor. 6'5". He's a solid defender. Can handle the ball. He's a great player for Tennessee. I say they go with Keon Johnson. Put it next to Markelle Fultz. Jonathan Isaac. He can space the floor. And they still got Scotty Barnes too. That'll be a solid team for the future. With the 9th pick, the Kings are on the clock. Let's see. Now, I don't think Buddy Hield will be on the team next year. If he is, I'll be surprised. But there's been trade rumors for years that Buddy Hield was going to get traded. Marvin Bagley hasn't lived up to the hype so far. He's been very disappointing. Delon Wright might be gone. Rashawn Holmes might be gone. I think he's a free agent. Right now, the main pieces are Halliburton and Fox. So that's why I say I don't think Buddy Hield will still be on the team next year. So I say with the ninth pick, you got to go with the best player available if you're the Kings. You can't go with anything experimental or anything. The Kings have like the biggest drought of without making the playoffs in the NBA right now. I don't know how long it's been, but I know it's been a long time. Jalen Johnson from Duke. You know, Jason Tatum was from Duke. All the Duke Blue Devils, bruh. They all go crazy. All of them end up becoming at least role players or superstars in the league or all-stars. So I say you go with Jalen Johnson. He has potential to be a superstar in this league. My comparison for him is kind of like Michael Porter Jr. He can score the ball. At 6'9", he could dribble. He could play defense. This is a great pick for the Kings if he falls to 9. So I say they go with Jalen Johnson. Or if they want to have a high upside player, they could go with Josh Giddey from Australia. Josh Giddey, 6'8". He's a playmaker. Kind of reminds me of Gordon Hayward. His shot is not consistent though. I think he shot like 30-something%. So he has an inconsistent shot, but I think he could work on a shot. That's another good player they could go with. They could either go with Jalen Johnson or Josh Giddey. He's also another playmaker. But I say they go with Jalen Johnson. He has more upside out of the two players. Now with what pick is this? 11th. The 11th pick, New Orleans Pelicans are on the clock. Now they could go with a player like Franz Wagner. Obviously, that's Mo Wagner's brother. Franz Wagner had a pretty good sophomore year in Michigan. He could space the floor. He could rebound the ball. He's a solid defender. But I don't know who the Pelicans are another weird team because they need a lot of things, but they already have too many people on the roster. So Eric Bledsoe, I say they need to trade. Lonzo Ball, I don't know if he's going to resign. And then Steven Adams, I think they should trade too. He's not a good fit with Zion. Takes too much space in the paint. But I think they go with a floor spacer here. They definitely need more shooting. So I'm going to say they go with Corey Kispert from Gonzaga. He's a great shooter, 6'7". He could be like another Joe Harris type player. Yeah, I say they go with Corey Kispert out of Gonzaga. Now with the 12th pick in the draft, Charlotte Hornets are on the clock. Now Charlotte already has a pretty solid team, so I wouldn't say they need much. They have Miles Bridges, PJ Washington, Malik Monk, LaMelo, Terry Rozier, and Hayward. So right now, I would say the main thing they need is a center, but I think they're going to trade for a center. Maybe like, they're probably going to try to get Drummond, or maybe try to trade for Jared Allen, someone like that. The main thing they need is a center, but there's not many good centers available right now. So I'm going to say they go with the best player available right now. I'm going to say they draft Josh Giddey out of Australia. Like I said, he has high upside. He could be a steal in this draft. The 12th pick, he could definitely be a steal. He's a great playmaker. He could score the ball. He has potential to be a good shooter. Kind of reminds me of LaMelo a little bit. And Gordon Hayward. But I think if you're trying to like maybe get rid of Hayward this year or maybe next year, you go with Josh Giddey because he kind of reminds me of Hayward. He's a good playmaker for 6'8". He could play shooting guard, point guard, or small forward. You could put him at any position. So yeah, I think if they trade Hayward, or maybe if they want to just put him off the bench, and then when Hayward leaves the team or his contract's up, he could start. But I think they go with the best player available, which is Josh Giddey. In my opinion, at least, he's the best player available. Now, with the 13th pick, San Antonio Spurs are on the clock. Now, I say San Antonio Spurs. They need to go with. Let me see who they got. They got Jakob Poeltl already. Trey Lyles. Rudy Gay. DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan obviously is a free agent. I think Rudy Gay is too. I don't see DeMar re-signing. They still got DeJounte Murray. Patty Mills is a free agent. To me, they need a whole lot, but they need a young player who has promise and that will actually stay on the team. To me, they need someone like Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner, 6'9", small forward, can space the floor. Solid defender, he can rebound. And then he could replace DeMar DeRozan because apparently he plays power forward now. Don't ask me why, but even if they keep DeRozan, he can still play power forward. Yeah, I think they go with Franz Wagner. Now with the 14th pick. Oh, my bad. The other one was the 12th pick. So this is the 13th pick. I said it wrong, but the 13th pick in the draft, the Pacers are on the clock. I think Pacers go with. I don't think they go with another center or power forward because they already have Sabonis and Miles Turner, which is already like kind of a bad fit to begin with, and they might try to get rid of Miles Turner and just put Sabonis at center full time. So I say they right here. They don't need a whole lot, so I'm gonna just say they go with maybe like a shooting guard off the bench type of player. James Knight, I think they go with 6'5" shooting guard out of UConn. He could have potential to be a good shooter, ball handler. Kind of reminds me of someone like Colin Sexton a little bit, the way he plays, but I don't think he'll have much of a role on this team because they already are stacked. They got Karis LeVert, TJ Warren, Jeremy Lamb, Miles Turner, Sabonis, Malcolm Brogdon. So I don't know how big his role will be on this team, but yeah, I think they go with James Knight. Now, with the last pick in the lottery, the Golden State Warriors are on the clock for the 14th pick. I think they definitely got to go best player available. They already drafted Jonathan Kuminga, but Isaiah Jackson, power forward, 6'11" out of Kentucky, solid defender, could rebound the ball. He's a pretty good rim protector too. I think they have to go with Isaiah Jackson there. He could be a backup center. They try to get rid of Kevon Looney. Could back up James Wiseman. So I think they go best player available. Go with Isaiah Jackson out of Kentucky, the 14th pick. Or they might try to package the 14 and 7 with maybe Wiggins and try to get Ben Simmons maybe. Or do a sign and trade with Oubre and the 7th pick. Try to get someone. I don't know what the Warriors are going to do this year. But if they keep their picks, I say they go with Isaiah Jackson with the 14th pick. If he's still available. And here's my 2021 NBA mock draft. As you can see right here. Let me know what y'all think about this mock draft. If it's a W or L. Let me know in the comments. To me, I think I did a pretty good job. I think all of these are realistic to happen, depending on if the Warriors keep their pick or not. And if everything goes according to plan, I think this is accurate. Now Rockets is a kind of difficult one because I don't know if they want to put Christian Wood at center or if they want to get Evan Mobley, but I think they'll go with Jalengreen. But let me know what y'all think in the comments about this mock draft. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, leave a thumbs up on this video, turn on that post notification bell, and I'm out, bruh.